Yeah, it's really just about. So I don't think I think there's a lot of people that think that technology is inherently neutral, like it's not good or bad, but I think that's not true. If you like compare, I don't know, some bioterrorist weapon which you could invent, or you could invent a machine to clean the ocean, I would argue those are not equally good things to develop. So when technology isn't inherently neutral, it means it's sort of deterministic. So the inventor kind of puts a certain direction in the product already. And I think that can be used in our advantage. Or to phrase it differently, I think there is a sort of a responsibility with inventors and entrepreneurs to build things that are more good than bad. And actually plastic, I would still argue that plastic is a net positive technology, and it was once invented as a solution. It saves a lot of weight. A lot of people got hurt when people use glass bottles and things like that. So back in the day, this was invented as a solution, but it has this negative side effect. So then I think we should now think about, well, what technologies can we develop to manage that negative side effect? And probably those have, again, a small negative side effect, but you can think about it like a compounding sort of staircase of net positive technologies. I think eventually that's how we can actually solve these problems.
So in this country, there's a tremendous amount of recycling, but how effective is that recycling?
Yeah, I think the amount of recycling is actually pretty low in the US compared to other countries.
Is it?
Like in Europe. Yeah,
we always think we do everything better over here.
Yeah, I've noticed that now.
What country's the best at it?
I think like Germany or Switzerland, those kind of countries are
really.
Are pretty good.
And what do they do differently?
They just, I think they just put more money in it, and I think most of the waste in the U.S. is actually being landfilled. So, and what's used to be recycled actually was sent to China, but now, like I think this year or last year, China said, "Well, no, we don't want your waste anymore." So, now I think there will be a lot of investment in new recycling facilities in the U.S.
Now, how does that get recycled? Like, say if you use this water bottle and you empty it and then you throw it in a recycle container, what happens?
So yeah, I mean, very much depends on the location. But to just use an example of where I live back in Holland, so they collect the plastic separately, then it goes to a facility where they sort the different kinds of plastic. They get out all the contaminants and make them into new pellets. And the problem there is really the lack of demand for recycled plastic, because I think a lot of companies that build products, because basically virgin, so new plastic is so cheap, they'd rather just do what they're used to, and they don't want to see any risks with their materials, so they just choose for the safe option, the new kind of plastic. So I think if you want to promote recycling, I would actually say, well, promote the use of recycled material, because as long as there's a demand, then the price will go up, and then automatically more recycling would happen.
Yeah, there's very little demand for recycled plastic. Like, it's not something that you hear about on a regular basis, like people that are clamoring to get only recycled plastic.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's that could be another nice side effect of what we do, because we can kind of make this sort of recycled plastic a bit more sexy.
Yeah, I was going to say sexy too.
Right? Yeah.
Perfect word. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. Have you extended this line of thinking to other environmental concerns, like pollution in terms of like chemical spills and pollution in the air and things along those lines?
Yeah, I have quite a few more ideas, I would say, but yeah, I would really wouldn't be good for the ocean cleanup if I would get distracted by it.
Well, I want you to farm those ideas off to other people, because I think guys like you are insanely valuable. Like,